if you're ready, get ready, because it's time for Youth Group Live. Welcome. We're glad you're here. This is where the beards are dope and the six-packs are nope.
Really no.
We're thrilled. We're going to have a good night. I'm Preston. This is Luke, and we've got Norm here as well. And thank you to Chris and Nate for hanging out in the back with us today.
We should give them a prize.
We should.
A pack of gum.
Yep, a pack of gum. That's what they get.
They got donuts too.
They did get donuts. Sometimes they get our leftover food.
Just like our raw eggs tonight.
Yeah, that's right. So we've got a great episode planned for you guys today. We're going to be cracking some eggs. We're going to be reading each other's minds. We're going to be answering questions that can't be answered. So we've got a lot of fun stuff planned. But first, just same as always, if you leave a comment at all during this video, you're going to be entered in to win a prize at the end. And keep in mind, if you invite a friend to watch this stream with you, then, and if they watch and if they comment, then you will get an extra entry into our big prize that we're giving away later on in the summer. And that prize, we decided, is either some AirPods, or if you already have AirPods, we'll find something else that we can gift you instead of that. But so we're going for some AirPods, and we're giving that away for people who submit answers to our Chubby Olympics questions. More on that a little bit later. But our Chubby Olympics today is going to involve cracking eggs. And so you guys, while we are kind of getting into things, while we're going through our discussion, I've got a bucket of eggs here and a pile of Sharpies. Let's just draw on some eggs. Design them however you want. We're each going to have 3 eggs for the game that we're playing here at the end.
What should I draw?
Give us some suggestions for things that we should draw. And I'm going to name one after. The first person who writes Preston in the comments, I'm going to draw you.
Norm.
I'm going to draw you on my egg to the best of my memory. So I'm going to be looking out for that. All right. So before any of that other stuff, did Bread Lord say my name?
He just said Brett.
There we go. Is this about the game? Because it's a little early.
All right. I'm gonna. I'll draw Lane the Bread Lord. I'm gonna draw you on one of my eggs.
Draw Preston.
All right. Hey. In the comments, what I want you guys to tell me, what's one thing that you have done this week that you haven't done in a while? Because in Indiana, at least, a lot of our restrictions are starting to come back. So some of us are going out. I'll say one thing for me, I got to do this week, play disc golf nice. With some of our students. That was a blast, and that was something I hadn't done in a while. So what's one thing that you did this week that you haven't been able to do in a while? Or what is one thing that you're looking forward to doing that you've really been missing? Let me know in the comments what those are for you guys.
We bought a car.
Okay.
I mean,
you haven't done that for a while.
I haven't done that for at least a few years. But I mean, it was something that like we've been saving up for and everything. But like, it's kind of hard to do that whenever everything's social distancing. We actually did look at doing the like deliver the car to you. Yeah. But it's just I don't know. It just seems like a lot of
like question marks.
Not just question marks, but just like you get like a week to try it. But at the same time, it's like I don't know. It just seems like a lot of pressure. I have to test out a car and like then send it back. I don't know. It just seemed old school. We went old school. We went to dealership and everything.
Nice.
It was good. It was fun.
But you didn't get a minivan, right?
No, we got an SUV.
Yeah, we have a minivan. I feel like I really sold out to the man when we got our minivan.
My dad bought a minivan and he loves it.
He loves it. You know what? It's really, it's really a great vehicle to have.
Oh, I'm sure it's very versatile.
You can fit a lot of things. And people
Pop
in there.
those seats down.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So keep telling us. I'm drawing.
Cool story, dude.
Yeah. Anything? Did you say anything you got to do this week that you haven't been able to do in a while?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it'd be a whole lot of fun, but my oldest, he goes to physical and occupational therapy at Memorial Children's Hospital, and that's been shut down for a while, and so he was so pumped. He said, I can't wait to go to therapy this week, and so we got to go to therapy.
Cool.
And
that's fun.
So that was a lot of fun. He was pumped to wear a mask the whole time. He actually enjoyed that. And so I don't know. I don't find it that enjoyable, but he thought it was cool. So.
No. Well, that's fun. Cool. Let's see. Anyone in the comments? I got to go to the eye doctor. Woo! Lane got rained on. Sam got to play soccer.
These markers do not grow well.
Well, these are kind of wet. Yeah, these are wet eggs.
I tried to put them in a bag so they weren't wet, but...
Well, it's just condensation.
Yeah, they got condensated
Okay,
on.
science, cool. Thanks, guys.
I drew a chicken. Someone said draw a chicken. I guess it's like a play on words.
Hey, I definitely drew the bread lord here. Can we switch to this camera real quick right here? I want to see if that looks good. Nope, not that one. Maybe.
That's a good try, though.
Oh, is it gonna? Okay, yeah. Okay, let's go.
Oh yeah, I like
So
it.
it's a piece of bread with a crown.
Yeah.
So he's a bread lord. So that's for you, Lane.
What you got?
Here's the chicken. Very
nice
very
chicken.
realistic.
This egg is mine.
That's
in case
good.
you weren't sure.
Wow, that's very creative of you. Keep the same color so we know whose egg is whose at the
Oh,
end.
I got to draw blue.
Yeah, you got to draw blue the whole time.
Okay.
All right, let's go back to not Norm's chest.
Yeah. Please.
All right. Hey, let's play a game, guys.
Okay.
This is a game about reading your minds and about all the possibilities in the world. So here's what's going to happen. We're going to be asked a question that has multiple choices, and we can choose whichever one we want. There's not a right answer. It's whatever we prefer. And the rest of our job, so if we're asking Luke, we're going to ask you first. So Norm, you and me, and everybody who's watching online, our job is to try to read Luke's mind and decide which he is going to pick, all right?
Now, there'll be options?
There's going to be four options,
okay.
A, B, C, and D.
Okay.
And so in the comments, just write A, B, C, or D when the options show up, and we're also going to pick ours. I meant to get like a whiteboard, but you're just going to have to be honest. All right.
Can you be honest?
Is that a possibility for you?
Is that a possibility?
I mean, I could just write it here if I want to.
Okay,
Don't believe
that's fine.
me.
That's fine. All right, so let's pull up that first question real quick for Luke. Chris says, hang on.
You're the new... Is this it?
Yeah.
You're the new queen. Time to pass a new law. Well, thank you. It's my queen. Yeah, it's my queenly
Wait,
voice.
why didn't you bring a wig? I thought you had some cool wigs for this.
Oh, you just go on my... Although this week's... No.
There we go.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. The last two videos have pretty much been all female characters. It's great. So much fun.
He's probably...
My wife bought me barrettes to help with the wig stuff. So, is it easier to read over there?
I don't know, maybe.
You're the new queen. Time to pass a new law. A, eyebrows are illegal. B, if you make eye contact with someone, you must immediately give them a hug. Social distancing out the window.
Right, yeah. That's...
C, ketchup must be put on everything you eat.
Yikes.
That is my son right there.
Yep, mine too.
Everything.
Carrots included.
We had asparagus and peppers and chicken tonight. Ketchup.
Yep.
Oh, rice. He also ate ketchup.
Yep.
D, at age 10, you pick a color, and from then on, all your clothes are that color.
Ooh.
Hopefully you did not pick lime green. 'Cause, whew.
That would be...
I hope you can at least pick shades of color if you can do that.
So,
Right.
let's see. What is Luke?
So what's your new law, Luke?
What's my new law?
I think I know exactly what you're going to pick as your new law, Luke.
Oh, man. See, I don't know. For those of you who don't know, like, Luke and I are still kind of getting to know each other a little bit. I don't, like... You guys have known each other for how long, Preston?
A few years.
A few years. And so Luke and I just met for the first time when we did our first youth group live. So I'm like, I have not as much history to go by.
That probably might. I mean, that might help.
It might.
I'm jumping between two.
Are you?
That
Which
helps
two are
you.
you jumping between?
All right.
Okay, I've got my answer.
I know what I'm picking for Luke.
If you're ready, get ready, Luke.
I am.
Jeez, you got to pick one, buddy.
I'm sorry. This is not actually a law. It's just... All right, you ready?
Most indecisive
Get ready.
hypothetical question.
Okay, wait, should we say ours first? What we
Yeah,
think?
I definitely think he's picking B.
You think B? Okay, I was going to say A just because it seems very random. Eyebrows are... It wasn't A because he looked at it right away to see what it was. So I'm wrong.
B.
Okay, you got it. Nice.
I knew it.
I was choosing between B and C because theoretically, blue and red were my favorite colors, and they still are. So like, I would have been okay with sticking with blue and red the rest of my life. Different shades, of course. I'm not going the full
so
jogging.
A
suit
wasn't
red.
even close.
A wasn't even close. Yeah.
All right, Luke or Norm, it's your turn to answer a question.
Here we go.
All right, your question is this. All right, your question is this.
I'm the new queen.
All right, your question is this.
Hey! Cars are illegal. What is the new way of transportation? Ooh. Okay, moose-drawn chariots, giant hamster balls, rocket. What?
Heelys?
Oh, Heelys. Okay, yeah.
You know what Heelys are?
I do. Yeah.
Okay.
And stilts with rollerblades attached to the bottom. Okay. Oh. What?
This one's hard because there's some great options.
There's some really good options. There's some that I like a little bit more than others. But see, I also have to remember that, would this apply to me too? Is this a
yes.
law that would apply to me? So I have to decide whether I want to die young with everybody else.
Do you feel like hamster balls would be safe or dangerous?
Yes.
I agree. I concur.
I feel like you would get stuck in a lot of places, but at the same time,
I feel like they're really safe until you have to go downhill.
Have you actually? There is I don't know where it is, somewhere in the world. There's this place where you could ride a giant hamster ball, and it's not filled with water, but has water in it, and it goes down these like grassy hills, tunnel thingies.
Sounds fun.
I watched a video on it. It looks really, really fun, and you're just like, but like because it's water, you're like sliding on it too, so you're not necessarily like tumble drying through it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
So that's pretty cool.
All right, what you got, Norm? I think you're going with C, rocket Heelys. Oh, we never even looked at the answers. Who got right? Sam got that first one right.
A lot of people got the first one right. Yeah.
Adriana got it right.
Christina got it right.
I don't know if Adriana's other B was for this one or the last one.
I'm assuming it was for this one because of she already said that.
Oh yeah, she already said that. So Adriana definitely got it right.
I personally am going to go with A.
I think it's C.
I feel like that would be really cool, but I'm just going with my choice. I don't know if that's helpful.
No, I think
the correct answer is A.
Oh!
Yeah, moose-drawn chariots. Just because
so who got that
meese
one
are really
right?
awesome.
Yeah,
nobody.
They are. And I mean, how epic.
I thought so. So someone said Lane. No,
did Lane get it right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Someone said that he was going to
gotcha.
switch it or something.
Okay, gotcha. All right, let's do one more of these. I'll answer this one. You guys got to read my mind.
Christina got it right too.
Here we go. When it rains. Oh wait, sorry.
Yeah, when it rains, instead of water, what falls from the sky?
Going like cloudy with a chance of meatballs situation.
Yeah. So is it tiny edible jelly slugs? Is it lollipops? Is it cash money? And that's really small, but it says something about
valuing our currency and destroying the economy.
Who am I kidding? It's already destroyed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So if it was like a personal rain cloud that only fell for me, money would be a great option.
Yeah.
But if everybody's getting dollar bills,
I mean, it wouldn't matter what it is. It could be diamonds, it could be gold. It would devalue everything.
Yeah, anything that's worth anything. So it's got to be something that's worth nothing. A single large duck that rampages the town. That would be fun.
But at the same time, you were still involved in that too. So I mean, you would have the rampaging duck in your town.
I would.
Now, is it one giant rampaging duck in each town?
Or
I think whenever it rains.
Oh, in
drops.
that town.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah.
So like Seattle would
it flies over
South
Bend, one duck. It flies over Elkhart, one duck.
Seattle would cease to exist, I think.
Yeah, Seattle would have a constant rampaging duck. Yeah, I mean, as long as you have a proper
Does the duck
call.
reset itself, or if it goes into the next day, is it just add another duck?
Yeah.
No one's willing to guess what they think I'm gonna suggest on this one.
I mean, if you have a proper duck call, D would work.
Now, my question is, are these jelly slugs real?
Like real slugs or real jelly?
Are they alive? They just happen to be jelly
I would
in
say
nature?
they got to be alive. Yeah.
Oh. But apparently they taste good, or at least like jelly.
It doesn't say.
Do you have your answer?
I mean,
I do.
any
I got my
slugs
answer.
edible?
Okay, I'm going with the duck.
That's what I was gonna go with.
Is it? Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
My answer is jelly slugs.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
That was my other thought.
Yeah. I mean, we eat living things all the time.
Do we?
Yeah.
Like,
it could
Well, not when they're alive,
sort
but
of solve.
oh, so you were gonna like cook it?
yeah, I mean, cook it or let
what do
it
you
dry
mean?
out, or I don't know. Put it in a jar for
A lot of
a
times
week.
people eat bugs. They eat them alive quite often.
Oof. Have you ever tried that?
Listen, you know how
Not
many cool
intentionally.
recipes? You know how many cool recipes our moms would come up with if we had edible jelly slugs just falling from the sky?
That's true.
My question is, would they be healthy?
Only one way to find
Oh,
out.
I already got a beard on this one. That's not mine.
Oops, that's not.
That's mine. Yeah. That's a picture of me.
I drew a picture of me too.
I drew a picture of me too.
Those are our champion eggs. All right. So we do a segment every week on YGL called Coping with Quarantine, where we ask you guys to send in videos. We haven't got any videos recently. So this week I'm challenging you, everybody who's watching, challenging you to... Oh, did anyone get mine right? No one guessed, so you all lose. I'm challenging you to send us in a video of a new hobby that you have picked up in the last couple of months. We've had a lot of time on our hands. Most people are trying something new. And so maybe you've started a new hobby.
Oh.
Is it the camera?
No, it's the stream. Well, that probably doesn't help, but unrelated, we're having issues.
Unrelated, we have an issues.
I'm gonna mute the mic real quick because the audio's...
It's coming through, Chris.
It's unmuted. We do realize we're having some issues here, so we're gonna go podcast style, huh? And just
Ooh. Some of the greatest
Are
podcasts
we,
are.
I think we might be back now.
Let us know if you can see us as well as hear us.
Okay.
all right, cool.
All right, we're here. Sorry about that, guys. We will try to make that not happen again.
I'm gonna blame it on the rain.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we have had internet issues every week. That's why I think a lot of times our mouth and our sound, you might have thought we were ventriloquists.
Just talk like this.
Yeah,
You don't even know.
you might have
You know,
thought.
if we had masks on,
Yeah.
then
You might have thought we got really good at throwing our voice. We didn't. We just have had some internet problems. We're trying to work through it. This is the best we got. So hopefully we're okay right now. If not, just work with us because it's really, I mean, do you really care how we look anyways? It's all about what's going into your ears.
Yeah, because the six packs are nope.
The six-packs are nope, yeah.
but the
and
beards are dope.
The beards are. You can look at that on my profile picture on Instagram if you want to see my beard more. All right, so a challenge for you guys for coping with quarantine. Send us in a video of a new hobby that you have picked up over the last couple of months. Have you guys picked up any new hobbies?
YouTubing.
YouTube? Yeah. I got really
TikTok.
into...
I started a TikTok channel.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
nice.
so that's fun, I guess.
Where you actually do ventriloquist.
I do actually do ventriloquism.
Yeah,
which I also
that's
have
true.
on the YouTube channel as well. It's just all children's ministry related, so it's probably not super exciting.
Nice. Did you just learn ventriloquism for that, or?
No, I've always been intrigued. Jeff Dunham and stuff have kind of been comedian, like the comedy of ventriloquism I like.
Okay.
And it was like 2 years ago, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna learn ventriloquism, so I just did it.
Nice. I like it.
I don't like, the people are like, I just wanted to learn guitar. That was me with ventriloquism. I don't really think, I would rather have just been able to pick up guitar and play it, but I guess my talent is ventriloquism, whatever.
And what a talent to have. Norm, have
Yeah.
you picked up any new hobbies?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay.
I would say this is my new hobby.
Yeah, there you go. Hanging out with
This,
your buds.
hanging out with my friends because I don't really have any friends.
Okay. Well, that's sad. Let's move on. My new hobbies are exercising less.
You were exercising more before?
Yeah.
I feel that.
The gym's closed, so I can't do anything. Stops me.
Sorry, I can't at the table.
Stops me.
It sounds like excuses.
Playing Animal Crossing is a hobby
hobby?
that, I mean, I had it, but now it's more. Playing Rocket League.
Oh, dude, I love Rocket League.
Man, actually, any of my video game stuff has gone down since. Because I've been more busy with...
Well, for me and Sarah have been spending, my wife Sarah, we've been spending a lot more time at home instead of doing other things. And one thing that we both enjoy doing together is playing Animal Crossing. And so that's something that we've been playing a lot of.
That makes me laugh every time you talk about it.
I don't know why.
It looks like the most ridiculous game in the entire world.
Hey, CJ, I was talking to CJ this week, and he's been on that Animal Crossing.
Okay.
You know? You gotta just get aboard.
Well, like I thought Animal Crossing was like Crossy Road, like Frogger.
Yeah.
So that's how much I know about anything with that.
No. All right, so send us your hobbies at flipgrid.com/YGL. Take a video, send it in to us. We'll show it next week on Youth Group Live.
Even if they're terrible.
Even if they're terrible,
even if
we'll still show
you're
it.
like, I picked up
We might
basket
talk over
weaving. I drew, I just
whatever. Sarah's been sewing. Sarah made her own dress, and it actually looks good. It doesn't look like she made her own dress.
Wow.
Maybe she could make a dress for Luke for one of your videos.
Yeah. It did take her quite a long time to do it. So.
It'd be a lot more material.
Yeah, a little bit more material. Yeah, that's for sure. Okay, so let's dive into kind of what we wanted to talk about today. Last week we opened up our new series kind of that we're going to be going through called Unknown. And so we're going to continue that conversation tonight. And this series is all about questions. Questions that we have about Scripture, about God and Jesus, about Christianity, what it means to be a Christian, all those things. Last week, we just kind of was very broad and talked about how it's okay to have questions. In fact, it's so okay to have questions. I think there's several instances in the Bible where it says questions are good. And so we want you to be asking questions. We think questions are a good way to develop your faith a little bit more. And so if you have a question about anything involving Christianity, God, Jesus, the Bible, the church, anything at all, beard care tips, whatever you want, send them in to the number that's going to be on your screen here in a second. It's 574-400-7334. Send your questions to that. That is not my personal phone number. That is going to be completely anonymous. So when you send that in, I will not know who sent it in. So you can ask anything you want.
And even if you're like, I don't know if I have a question right now, just save that number.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead and pop that in your phone.
You can put it as Youth Group Live or something like that.
Yeah. Too. Yep. That's the only thing that number is used for is just these questions. And so save that number if you have a question that comes up throughout the week. We got a few last week, and so we're actually going to talk about one of them today. And we're going to talk about the others a little bit more down the road whenever they fit into the conversation for the night. So send your questions in. But for tonight, I have a couple questions that I wanted to talk about our answers to. And so we left you off with this question last week. And the question was, is there any questions that, or rather, let's start here. What if you don't know the answer to a question? If you're a Christian, and I've seen this a lot of times. In fact, I don't know what your guys' conversations have been with your students, but I know that one of the main reasons that students at North Liberty have come to me and said they are scared to evangelize. And then one of the number one reasons that I get every single time is, what if they ask a question that I don't know the answer to? And that's a scary thing. If you're trying to tell somebody about Jesus and then they ask you a question and you don't know the answer to, that's kind of a scary thing because it can make you feel dumb. It can make you feel like you don't really know what you're talking about. And it can be embarrassing. And so I kind of want to go there. What if there's questions that we don't know the answer to as Christians?
I think the best thing that you can tell somebody if you don't know the answer is to be honest and just to say, I'm not sure, but let's look at this together. And so there's been many times that I've been asked questions from students that's like, man, that's a good question. I've never really thought about it or studied it. So let's look into this together. I'm going to go back and go to some of my resources that I know. If you're a student and you get asked a question that you're not sure about, say, man, I'm not sure, but I've got a couple people I can ask. And so go to your youth pastor, go to some trusted adults and find the answer. And I think being honest about not knowing increases your credibility with people more than acting like you know something but talking totally off, off base.
Yeah, I think sincerity is the intent of the heart.
Yeah.
So it's not just about being honest, but it's about being sincere. I mean, it's the same thing with when someone asks you a question and the answer might be hard for them to hear. If you do it in a loving, sincere way, it'd be hopefully easier for them to hear it and to absorb that information. Same thing whenever you say, I don't know. Like if they say, hey, what about this? You're like, I don't know. Well, that's kind of like a blow off, I don't know. And so it's about the desire to want to learn and understand. And there have been many times where I've been asked a question. Just happened yesterday. My wife was asking me a question about biblical translation stuff, and I was like, I don't know. I was like, honestly, and I was like, I can look up this and this and this. I was like, but to be honest, it'd be better to find somebody who has more of an expertise in that to be able to get that question. Because some questions, there are definitely questions. I'm sure you guys have heard them before, where people ask them and you're like, my entire life, never have I heard that question. Mm-hmm. It's a great question, and I have no idea.
Right. Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah. And I love those kinds of questions.
Yeah.
Because
oh, yes.
it shows that we're thinking in ways that, like, we're not just, there's some people who they can go to school, go to church, go to wherever, and whatever they hear, they're just like, oh, okay. And they just take it at its word. But that, you're not thinking, you're not critically thinking. And in some contexts, that's okay, because teachers, you can trust them typically. Pastors, you can usually trust what they're saying. But also when we're using our minds and thinking through what we're actually listening, that's when we actually process it, and it becomes part of, it goes into our hearts when we're actually thinking critically about those kinds of things.
Well, I think that's where you're leaning on the Holy Spirit for things, because everyone knows, I'm sure everyone in here and online have had an experience where someone has said something and your first gut reaction was, maybe you're like, not necessarily, oh, that's completely false, but just like that first initial gut, like, I don't know, it seems a little off. And that's when you go looking for those answers and understanding those things. But we have to remember that most often the questions that we are asking when it comes to the Bible are, when we learn them, we go, oh yeah, that makes sense. Because God's not a God of disorder. I think that's something, confusion. God's not a God of confusion. And so we need to remember that if we're trying to seek those answers and we're getting more and more confused, not finding more and more questions, those are two different things. That's the other thing we got to remember, is confusion and asking more questions are two very different things. But it's about wanting to find those answers. But being okay if we can.
And, specifically wanting to find those answers from the heart of trying to grow closer to God through that. We talked last week about how there's a danger in trying to ask questions just for the sake of asking questions and stirring up controversy, which, I know that we probably all have those people in our lives who are just like, the Bible says this, well, what do you think about this? And those are questions that they're really just trying to start a fight. They're just trying to start an argument. And those aren't healthy and those aren't helpful. But if we're asking questions from a heart of trying to grow in our faith with Jesus, then those are questions that are actually helpful. But to sum up kind of what I think all of us said, I don't know is an okay answer to a question. Even if the question is important and it can be answered, if you don't know the answer, it's okay.
And it's okay to say, I kind of know the answer, but I would really like to walk with that you in that answer so that we can do it the best way possible.
It's probably better to say, I have an idea of what the answer to that is, but I'd really like to get back to you with an answer than to say, I'm pretty sure this is the right answer, but I might be wrong.
Let's say, how often do you have those what's the question? How do you answer this? And you're like, I know it, but I have absolutely no idea how to explain it. Yeah. It's like, well, take the time to do it right. Because if you want to be sincere about those answers, you want to do it right. Just like if you were asking a question, you want someone to do it right by you. So you want to do right by them.
Yeah. And if someone finds out that that you kind of knew the answer, but you just acted like you had authority in that question, if they find you out in that, then you lose all credibility, and they're not going to come to you with questions, or when you have an answer for something, they're just going to blow it off, even if it is the right answer about maybe an even more important topic. And so I think sincerity is huge, and I think just having an honest conversation with someone when you really don't know is perfectly fine.
And when you don't know the answer, that's when it's a great opportunity for you to try to seek the answer from somebody who's wise, someone who might know the answer. And so it's okay to not know the answer, but if it's an important question, maybe it's worth going to your youth minister or to your parent or to your senior pastor. Depending on the question, maybe the internet has some answers, but it's, you can find anything you want on the internet. So try to stick with humans that you trust at first, and if none of them know the answer, look into scripture and search and try to find the answer there. And especially if you have a friend who is asking questions about Jesus or about faith, but they're not themselves Christians, those are some of the most important questions to try to find the answers to, because you've got somebody who they need a relationship with Jesus, and you might be able to help them find that if you're able to find answers to the hard questions that they have. If that's standing in the way between them and a relationship with Jesus, then that's worth finding answers to. There is one verse that I thought through when we were asking this question, and it's 1 Peter 3:15. Do you have that on your phone?
I do.
You're ahead of the game, Luke. Will you read 1 Peter 3:15 for us?
But in your heart set apart Christ as Lord. Always be prepared to give an answer to everyone who asks you to give the reason for the hope that you have. But do this with gentleness and respect.
Good. So when someone first taught me that verse, it was in the context of you need to read your Bible every single day so that when somebody asks you a question about the Bible, you're going to have an answer for it. That's not bad advice, but that's not what that verse, at least in my new interpretation of it, that's not what that verse is actually saying.
Let's say it could be something you could kind of glean from it on a secondary level, but that is not at all the main focus of this verse.
So what is this verse actually talking about?
Well, it's you in your relationship with Christ. It's when someone says, why do you follow Jesus? Why are you a Christian? You can articulate in a way that helps them understand why you love Jesus. You might quote verses. You might not. You might live it out in the way you're saying it. I mean, I think when you start to live your life, and reading your Bible regularly is important because it becomes a part of who you are. One of the things that I always struggled with growing up was this idea of I wish I could just quote scripture. Those older preachers and teachers and whatnot, they could just, it's in Matthew, blah, 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 and you're like, wow, how do they know that? I want to know that. Just reading, one of the things that we need to remember, it's not about whether I know book, chapter, verse. It's about whether the information's in my heart and I can articulate it, right? And so our relationship with God, how can we articulate it appropriately with respect so people can understand, why do I have hope in Jesus?
Right. Well, and the reason that you have hope in Jesus might be different than the reason that I have hope in Jesus. We have different minds that think different ways, and I might be more attracted to one singular part of Jesus or one part of that relationship with God than you are. And so we can have all the answers to, there's some people who are saying, I'm a Christian because I think that the world shows most definitely that Jesus walked the earth, died, and rose again, which if you look in history, personally, I find that it's much easier to believe that Jesus existed based on the facts that we have than it is to believe that he didn't exist based on the facts that we have. But that's not why I have hope in Jesus. That's just facts that exist. My hope is in Jesus because of what he does for me personally in my life. And what he does in your life is going to be different than that. And I think this verse is talking about, why do you have hope in Jesus? Why do you specifically have hope in Jesus? And be prepared to share that testimony with other people. Facts are good. Knowing the Bible, that's great. But ultimately what you're sharing with others isn't just facts or what your preacher says and regurgitating that. It's the hope that you have.
There's nothing wrong with facts.
No.
They're good. But they're usually, I can't say always, but they're usually not the point at which someone turns to Jesus.
Yeah.
It's personal. It's the personal testimony. It's the personal connection and relationship. When you said where did you first come to know Christ and things like that? I found Jesus through the example my family taught me. That's where I first saw Jesus. Yeah, I went to church, but it wasn't necessarily. It wasn't about the sermons. It wasn't even about the memory verses. It was about the example that my parents instilled, that my grandparents instilled on me, that allowed me to then build my faith based on what I saw them in their relationship with Christ, because it was personal.
Well, and I think that for most people, if we were to go back and think about how we came to Christ, we can attach a person to that. That there was a person that walked with us. And so when someone comes to you, going back to the original question, with a question that you don't know the answer to, man, what if instead of being the source of all knowledge for them, you were just bringing them to the source of all knowledge?
Yep.
That your goal wasn't to provide them with the answers, but provide them with the one who can give the answers. And so your goal isn't to answer the question, but is to walk with them in finding the one that can give them the answers when he so chooses to. And so I think that that should be our goal, not to, and I even see this like in debates, like, there's all kinds of, I see Christians going at each other, like debating, especially on social media, and like about this theology or this doctrine or this idea of the world or whatever. But what if instead of just like having this idea that we have to have all the answers, we just really showed what it was to walk with Christ. And when someone has a question we don't know, we say, I don't know, but I know one who does. And let me show you who he is.
So that we're kind of behind. We need to really pick up the pace here as we're going through.
We're always behind.
Yeah, always. The second question is, what if we can't know the answer? So the first one was, what if we don't know the answer? Another one is, what if we can't know the answer? And are there questions that don't have answers?
My first response when that question was asked when we were going through it was, enjoy the mystery.
Okay. Yeah.
Mine too. That's my first response
It's
too.
like into the sorry, it's not into the unknown. I just keep talking about the Frozen song, Into the Unknown. We can't sing it here, but I couldn't sing it at all, ever. Not in my...
I think you should try one of your YouTube videos though.
Yeah, sure. I got the new long white wig.
Yes.
So like talking about going into the unknown, going into what we don't know, there's an adventure about it. And like we talked about heaven, we don't know, and that's awesome. It's wonderful not to know. And maybe I didn't understand that until I got older. And I'll fully understand it more and more as life goes on, but there is something about not knowing that allows you to go, there's more out there. It's why scientists love science. It's why mathematicians love math. It's why artists love art, because it's creating, it's going past. We see what we have, how can we go further? That is why we are where we are today in our world. That is why we have phones. That's why we have lights, because we go, what isn't here and what can I do now?
Right.
And so there are things we will never know, and we need to revel in the mystery.
Right. And I think that we need to do that, and then we also need to not use that as an excuse to not know.
Oh yeah.
I think that we have to. What you were saying was that there's a beauty in pursuing those things that we don't know, and being okay with not ever finding the answer to the question, but always be in pursuit of that answer.
Well, as an example for that, the science and the Bible, often they seem to be at odds with each other. They seem to conflict a lot of the times. We're actually going to do a whole episode on science and the Bible, I think next week. But just kind of a preview for that. There's some things that the Bible says, some things that science says, that they don't necessarily go hand in hand. And as Christians, we can either say, well, I don't know, so I'm just going to ignore science completely. Science says this, but I'm going to just not believe anything that it says. Or, as a Christian, what you were saying, I think, we can actually study and do research and try to figure out what is science saying and what does that actually teach us about God and who God is. Some things they might have wrong. Some things they might have right. We don't know. But instead of just ignoring an entire aspect of who God is, we can dive into what other people are finding out about God and let that help us build our relationship on who he is. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. All right, yeah. So just the answer to our question, are there questions that can't be answered? The answer is yes. In fact, the Bible actually says there's one verse in there specifically that came to mind, and I'm not going to just read it. I'm just going to tell you what it says. But it says, nobody knows when Jesus is going to come back. Not the angels, not Satan, not humans. Nobody knows when Jesus is going to come back.
Wait, so you're saying that all the people out there are the same? It just makes me laugh.
If someone gives you a date and a time when Jesus is coming back,
you already know. You already know that it's not going to be.
It's not going to happen. Yeah.
So if
you can bank on
predict every single day that Jesus is going to come back, then they'll never. No, because you don't know. You can think, but you don't know.
Yeah.
And that verse goes on to say, and I think this goes on along with what we're saying. Just because you can't know doesn't mean you stop thinking. Mm-hmm. It's that you have the hope that, well, hey, maybe it is today, or maybe it is tomorrow.
You're prepared,
and you're getting prepared. Mm-hmm. And it says, just like you don't know when a thief is going to come in the night, you still lock your door.
Yeah, Yeah. I mean, the people back in the first century, especially when you're reading through the Bible, seemed like they thought Jesus was coming like
in their lifetime.
10 years,
yeah.
that type of thing. And it, of course, did not happen. But they lived with that, and they lived with the joy of that. And guess what? Jesus always comes within your lifetime, because when you die, you meet him. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's how it is. And so the reality is that Jesus is always coming, no matter if he comes now or he comes whenever you come to be him. Mm-hmm. But it's always there, and we need to be not worried about it, but enjoying where we are now and what we will be in the end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the big thing last thing for questions that we can't know the answer to, one of the big things is when we can't know the answer, we focus on the core of what that is. And so going back to science, we can't always know the answer to science. We of how things are created or how things are done. But we know who and we know why. We know that God created us, and we know why he created us. And we're gonna talk about that next time we get together. And so when you can't know the answer to some questions, you focus on the things that you can know, and you focus on the core of the issue that's at hand. And that's what's gonna build you and bring you into that relationship with God. Hey, guess what, guys? We ran out of time. We're not going to be able to do this last question.
I will tell you, both Norm and I do agree. I think you do too. This last section could be its own thing.
It really could. So the question that we said that we were going to answer last week, we said we were going to answer this week. This week we're saying we're going to answer next week. At some point we're going to answer this question. Are there questions that we must know the answer to? And I'm telling you right now, if there's anything that you're going to invite your friends to view, it's us talking about this question.
We were just giving you an extra
We're giving
chance.
you another week to invite your friends to view with us, especially the ones in youth group that like you go to youth group with and they haven't been tuning in. You need to invite those people to come join us. And if you have any friends who you're like, hey, this guy has asked us a question in the past, or hey, this girl, she's talked to me about being what it looks like to be a Christian before, but she hasn't pursued that, man, tell them, hey, they're going to answer some questions that might actually help you or might give you some answers to the questions that you have. You should tune in next Thursday at 7 p.m.
Now, I don't know if you said this, or maybe you said it sort of. I'm okay in my youth group if you trick, I don't know. If you get one of your friends that already goes to youth group who has not come on youth group live yet. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. I'm okay with that. So my students, if you know someone who has not been on the YouTube youth group live stuff at all, and you can get them to come on and comment, I'll give you the extra 2 votes or names in the drawing.
Yeah, whatever it's called. We'll do that.
So keep that in mind. I mean,
do we have the names ready to draw right now, Nate? No, we don't.
That's right. We could do.
We're gonna do this first. We're gonna get messy, and I didn't bring any paper towels, so that's cool.
That's good. We have hand sanitizer.
Yeah, we do.
Hey, does someone in the back want to run and get some paper towels out of the back?
Yeah. So here's what we're gonna do for Chubby Olympics, and I know the chat is down right now. I think you guys can still hear us.
It's back. It's back.
Oh, it's back.
Good.
Yeah. Christina said, "Oh."
Oh.
I have not seen that.
Okay, let me try.
I can't even pull up my subscriptions on YouTube, so I can't watch anything.
Just yell at the screen.
Oh, hey, if chat is
you go.
back, okay, Norm, listen.
What?
Are we gonna eat out of the bowl?
I was gonna have these eggs for breakfast.
Well, good thing he's going to get some paper towels.
Wow, are you gonna dry wipe it? Is that gonna get all the germs out?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You assume that I have germs on my head.
Now
first
we
of
gotta
all.
get Norm's hair out of this
Hand
bowl.
sanitizer.
Yeah, I'm not gonna waste an entire dozen of eggs. This is definitely my
Spritz a little
breakfast tomorrow.
sanitizer?
No, I'm not putting.
What? I'm sure it kills 99% of germs. I'm sure it'll be.
Yeah.
Hey, the germs are what tastes good. Get that out of here.
All right. Wait, you have to draw on your egg, though.
Here's what we're going to do. We have been drawing on these eggs. We each have 3 eggs. And I learned on the internet, which has all the answers to everything, that if you take 2 eggs and you ram them together, one egg will always break the other egg. So there's going to be one egg that's perfectly intact and the other egg that's broken.
Guess who I drew?
Charlie Brown.
I did. Yes.
So we're going to crack them into this bowl. We're going to do our best not to get a bunch of shells in there because I'm not going to waste eggs. I'm making my breakfast.
Dude, you're eating shells in the morning.
No.
I guarantee it.
No, we're going to be
are-
good.
I'm not
Let's
picking the
grab
shells
this.
out. That's your
Shells
job.
are just extra calcium.
Let's go ahead and
Whatever it is,
drawing.
yeah.
It's calcium.
Have you ever had a shell in your egg? Like, have you ever crushed into a shell?
Just throw make an omelet and throw celery and nuts in it. You know, add a little crunch to it.
We're going to go ahead and do our comment drawing now because I want to not be messy when we do that later. But you still need to be voting for who you think is going to win between the 3 of us.
Whose
gonna
egg
have the
is gonna
superior
win?
egg. So we're going to give you probably a minute or two.
Should we have our own egg so that...
Adriana, I am a great egg cook. I can't cook many things, but I can cook eggs. All right? So
Yeah, that's actually the one thing I really don't care. My wife, she has a way to cook eggs. I just throw it in a pan until they're done. I don't add anything. And sometimes I'll throw salsa on top when I'm done. Because
So I feel like my eggs are going to be the winner, especially this one.
it says the winner.
It says the winning egg, and so I themed all my eggs as the winning egg with an egg on the other side.
Oh, wow.
This is mine with me on the other side, and this is straight A's with all of the straight A's
Oh,
on the
cool.
other
It's
side.
yeet
oh,
because it stands for yummy eggs every time.
gotcha. That's good. Hey, let's do our drawing real quick. Let's find out who's gonna get that prize this week for commenting in 3, 2, 1. Sam!
Sam,
You got a
all right.
prize coming your way. Congratulations. I will be contacting you to get a prize to you in the next 48 sometime. I'll get it to you.
Before next youth group live.
Well, I haven't contacted Benton yet. So I'll get you both in one go. Coming up sometime this week. I'll make sure you get a prize coming your way.
Make sure you get your votes in because we're about to close the chat.
We're about to close the chat out, so you got just a couple seconds left to get your votes in. I'm going to give them from now 10 seconds, all right?
Okay.
And go ahead and you pick out the egg that you think is going to be your best egg.
Oh, I already know.
Mine is going to be this one.
Mine's going to be the winning egg. Because that's what it says.
And voting ends here. Boom.
I'm feeling either chicken or yeet.
All right. So here's how this is going to work. We're just going to start on this side. So I will break the first eggs. And I will break one of Norm's, and I'll break
Wait.
one of Luke's.
Are we doing our champion eggs first, or are we saving this for last?
You give me whatever contestant you want to bring up.
Okay, I'm going to give you mine.
I don't care.
This one's mine. All right, so
They're all winning eggs.
let's turn this my way a little bit.
I don't
How's
like
that?
this.
All right, cool. So I'm gonna smash these together, and one of them, if TikTok is accurate,
Yeah, what's the Gallagher? Is that the guy that always smashed food?
one of them is going to survive. The other one will not. So we've got this one is Luke's. It says yeet. This one is Norm's. It says mine. Ready? I don't know which one's the top. This is a perfectly oval egg.
Yeah, it is.
That's a perfectly oval. All right.
I don't know if that's an advantage or
Ready?
a disadvantage.
3, 2, 1. Look at that.
Hey, it's
Hey, mine won! Here, you want to...
I do. Wow, there's a lot of eggshells in that.
So that means I lost.
So that means Luke has to break mine and then one of yours, right?
Each time, we'll just go in a circle. So this time,
different.
Luke, you're going to break. and we can put forward whichever competitor we want to put forward.
Okay, but this one stays in. Is that
So
what's
I have a
happening?
bye.
That one's still in. You can choose it or you can pick a different one. It doesn't
Okay.
matter. Just one of your eggs versus one of my eggs.
Okay.
All right. I'm choosing this one. This says
Now that I see your shape, I think
This
because it's a weird.
It is a weird.
is a egg. All right. That's my competitor.
Mine is straight A's, and it's got literally A's straight across the egg.
Nice. All right. So
Hey! Oh, am I doing it?
You get any
you're
shells
good
in
on
there?
this one.
Great.
I got them out. So whatever shells you get in there, you have to get them out.
This is an eating contest. You can get it in slow mo. How'd you do it? Just like this?
Yep.
What? Is there another way to do it?
This way.
No.
1, 2, 3.
Oh!
Preston!
All right.
Watch your phone. You might.
Give me my baby back.
Oh, wait, that's copyrighted.
Okay, wait. Here, Preston. It's your job.
Yeah,
to
you're
get
getting
the
the
shells.
Oh my
shells out.
God.
Hey, they're your eggs. You get them out.
It is
Oh,
my
I got egg white on my
Oh man,
paper.
I
I feel
totally,
like you dropped the rest of these in there on purpose.
I totally missed the opportunity to name one of mine the good egg, though.
Oh man.
I'm kind of sad about that.
Glutatama? That's the good
what?
egg Japanese character. Like, have you guys seen that?
Nope.
No.
I have no idea what you're talking
What
about.
anime is that?
It's just like Domo. They're just like a random Japanese character,
Oh.
like Hello Kitty.
That's really creepy.
Oh, okay.
Hey, give me an egg.
Yeah.
All right.
I've seen that.
This one's me versus Luke.
Luke.
All right, I'm gonna go check out this guy right here. This is my winner egg right here. It's a picture of me.
That's a beautiful picture of
Yeah.
you.
See, we're gonna use all our eggs, right?
Yeah.
Until there's one reigning champ.
So there's one
Yeah.
reigning champ.
Okay, so I think this one's gonna win.
Think so?
So I'm gonna do this one.
Okay.
I don't know if that's the gamble.
This
I should
is
go.
the chicken.
This is the chicken.
Very nice. Okay. Here we
Chicka,
go.
chicka, boom, boom.
Ready? So Preston's over here. Luke's over here. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh.
That's gross.
Look how nasty that is.
Breakfast.
Okay, wait. Which one? Okay, ready? Here you go.
Wait, mine broke? Oh
Yeah,
no,
No,
mine
no,
survived.
I'm
Oh wait,
cleaning it
yeah,
off.
there you
for
go. I don't know who's this who's. I just want to.
Just use your
Beard
other hand.
boy.
Ugh, this is disgusting.
No, I've lost both
Eggs.
times.
Eggs are so disgusting. You get salmonella from this stuff.
Nah, I mean, not really.
I think you can get salmonella when it gets on the counter and germ and stuff gets with it. I assume because people eat raw eggs.
It's 1 in 70,000 eggs contain salmonella,
And
which means if you eat 4 eggs a day, raw eggs every single day, you might get salmonella. But by the time you hit 70 years old,
My dad got salmonella from ice cream.
well, that was bad eggs.
Is that one bad egg?
All right,
bad?
I am doing Luke and
Yes.
Norm.
Okay.
So if I lose, I'm done.
Oh yeah. So
Oh, okay.
This is the winning egg. This is my champion
right.
egg, and it literally just has an egg drawn on the other
All
side.
right.
And this is Charlie Brown.
I'm gonna put Norm. I'm putting you in my left hand.
You can
Okay.
figure
I'm
out what
putting
is Charlie Brown.
Charlie Brown in my right
Let me
hand.
know.
Oh.
All right. I'm gonna see if I can
Oh,
get
sick.
egg
Speaking
juices
of
to
this splash
squirt
zone
and
you
hit
did
our
over there,
camera
Norm.
right there.
That was impressive. I thought.
It was gross. All right, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, I told you. I
Oh
told you.
man.
You told me what?
I said it's the shape. I thought
Oh.
that was the better one. I don't know why.
It's a good egg right there.
I've only got one egg left. You've got one egg left.
Yeah.
This is
Preston
my
has 3.
Preston has 3. This isn't.
I
even-
do have 3. Yeah.
I think he did this on purpose. Maybe he did.
Well, I've
I think
also
he
only
did.
gone twice. Lane the Bread Lord doing me proud right here. You about to knock Luke out of the race.
Wait, no, knock me
Or
out of the
not,
race.
not Norm out of the
So
race.
this one again is mine.
That's the mine egg.
This is
Yeah.
the mine egg. This is the last one I
Did
have.
you show him your self-portrait?
It's beautiful. The beard is dope, and the 6-pack is nope.
This is a big old nope. All right.
Christina said her grandma had salmonella. That's from bad eggs.
Or chicken.
Or
Which
chicken.
is an egg. Wait, that's...
Really, salmonella is just bacteria, so
Why are
it
you guys
can
so
grow.
afraid of
Oh!
Yeah.
But this, I mean,
Mine is.
you still
holding
have 2
up.
eggs left.
Yeah.
That's, and look
Lane
at
the
that.
Bread Lord, I need
Look at
you
that.
to help me out on
No
that
shells.
one. Good job, dude. I'm proud of you.
That we can see.
Should I go with Chris? Tell me, should I go with Jesus or this is an egg?
Jesus always.
Jesus always.
I mean,
All right.
Jesus won the last one too.
And then-
so is my egg.
Yeah.
Jesus
it's your
versus
egg.
Charlie Brown.
Okay, who do you think wins between Jesus and Charlie Brown? All right, here we go. Watch yourself, Preston, because it might go nuts
Yeah, you
again.
splatter on these ones.
Oh,
Oh
Jesus
my gosh.
lost to
Charlie Brown just dominated. He's got a good shaped egg.
That's
right
why I
there.
picked that one.
So you've got to do this last one because it's me
Wait,
and
I've
Luke.
got one more left.
No,
still.
he's got
Oh.
one more left.
You do have one
So,
more.
So now it's Norman Preston.
So I have the
I'd
advantage.
say that has been winning because it's also a good shaped egg.
It's the second win
Yeah.
I've had.
Yeah.
No, wait, this is me versus Luke because you're doing the cracking, right?
Yeah, that's
so
right.
Luke
Oh, that's
gets-
right.
So
Which
Preston gets a
means
bye.
whichever one wins this has to win 2 in a row. Can you guys switch that up for me?
Got
Has
it.
to win 2 in a row to be the champion. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1.
Oh, I told you it's a good shape.
Yes.
Good shaped egg.
No Charlie Brown. I have a good feeling about your egg.
All right, so Luke,
Which means I got a bad feeling
boy.
about mine.
you got to do
All right,
the
I'll make
honors
sure to
here.
give Preston's an
This is
extra
the
squeeze.
This is the closest I've been to a win yet. My eggs are.
Yeah,
my-
you haven't won yet, have you?
no, not even
Everyone
close.
root
You just-
for Norman.
Not even close.
Give him a win. Preston's won. I won.
I'm not even.
Some. I don't remember.
I
how
love
many.
this because this is purely chance
Yeah.
and having a good egg.
Now I was excited because I thought this was going to be a hard-boiled egg eating contest. See how fast we could peel them and eat them.
You win all of
I would
them.
totally win. I would dominate on that one.
I wouldn't have
Hey.
even peeled mine. I would have just.
It's the final countdown. Everyone with me.
3, 2,
1. It's the.
Yes!
It's the.
This is an
This is an egg. Not even grammatically correct.
Oh yeah.
I'm so sad I didn't win. Am I even going to
Man,
win one at all?
I am
feel like that was my best chance to win.
I'm so proud of this egg.
Oh, there's a shell in there.
You got to get that out, boy.
I don't see it.
It's one of the. Wait, it's right
Just
down.
get it out with men.
What color Sharpie is on it? That's who we can
Blue.
blame. That's
Well-
you.
Yep. Oh, I got it, but I cracked it on the way, so hopefully there's no little ones in there.
I was just gonna like bob for apples on that.
No.
So
For the prize for this egg is I'm gonna eat it tomorrow morning.
So hey, and here is the deal. In the comments real quick, tell Preston what's going in his omelet tomorrow morning.
Oh, yeah.
And whatever you put in there,
I mean, I got 8 eggs.
yeah,
So.
he's got to put in his omelet and take a video and put it on Flipgrid of you.
Oh, I
eating.
will. I will. That's my new
The
hobby
eggs.
is making egg.
I want you
omelets.
to make an omelet. Like
wanna
I don't
make-
want you to make an omelet.
No, an omelet.
I want legit like the wider pan so it goes out flat and
Yep.
then you fold it with the cheese.
I'm
I want to
gonna
see you
make-
try to make it.
I'm gonna make scrambled eggs.
No.
Mix it with some other stuff, and then put the scrambled eggs and like bacon and stuff on an omelet.
On an omelet,
Yeah.
so you can put egg.
Wait,
oh,
put the bacon on an
I want to
omelet?
put egg inside of an egg omelet.
Okay, but I still want to see you.
Yeah, I'll
make
do my
the
best.
Omelet.
I'll do my
Okay,
best.
yeah.
All right. Hey, that's it for us tonight. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Nate, for running the camera. I know we had some technical difficulties. Not their fault, but it is to their credit that we got back
Raspberry
online.
and
Woot woot.
acacia,
Oh, that's what you need.
acai, but no, it's spelled differently.
I don't have those ingredients at
It's like
home.
aka.
You don't
The-
have raspberries at home? Does
The
everybody
ingredients I
have
have
But
at
it might
home
be
are
acai.
cheese
Is
and
that how
bacon.
you? That's not how you spell it, though.
I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Luke. Thank you, Norm. My name is Preston. This has been Youth Group Live. If you're ready, get ready. We'll be back at you next week answering some more questions. We'll see you then.
Bye.